Hello guys, my name is Shastanon. Welcome back to more Minecraft on the JFS. So every day when I go home from work, there is a school bus that is going the opposite direction along the same road that I am taking. And every time I see it, I don't always see it because sometimes it's a little early or it's a little late, or I'm a little early or I'm a little late, and I don't always see it. But every time I do, I hope, I cross my fingers that it will come to a stop and open its doors and put out the stop sign with such timing that I have to be the first person to stop. Because I really like the idea of that. Because here's the thing about school buses, is that it's the kind of thing that most Americans are aware of, but most Americans don't really have public transportation like that. Like, most Americans' only interaction with public transportation is that they went to school on a school bus. If they did, which some of them didn't. Some people walked, some people, were driven. And I think it's like uniquely great that we as a society have decided that when the school bus is letting off a kid, every single person on the street, not just people behind the bus, but also the people going in front of, going the other direction past the bus, all need to stop. Everyone needs to stop and say, hold up, society has determined that this kid is more important than whatever you were doing. And they're right. Like, the kid is important, and, we should all slow down and stop for a little bit. We can wait, 30 seconds each. By the way, I'm building a moss farm here, which is the same one I built last season. I'll have a link to it in the description. It's the one that I built last season. I think it was based on the design in Etho, but I don't think Etho made the tutorial. I'll have to find it before I post the video, but description. But yeah, so basically, I really like that we have done this, that we have said, the children are important, and we are going to do this. And I really like when I'm coming home from work, and I get mildly inconvenienced by the school bus, because it feels good. It feels good to be like, yes, we have a functioning society that values the kids in this situation. And I want to be the guy who stops and forces everyone to stop. Everyone's going to stop when the school bus, opens the doors because the stop sign pops out and you have, the law says you have to stop, but nothing's physically stopping everyone from stopping. And so if I'm the first one, then I have to be the one to physically, block the intersection or block the road. Like, hold up, everyone, we're letting the kid go. And I don't know why, I just have that in my head that's like, yes, I really want to. Like, now that I'm saying it out loud, it feels a little weird. But, I just like the idea. I just like the idea of being the one to stop. And so the other day, I'm heading home from work, as I normally do. And I'm coming up to a stoplight, the one stoplight on this road, because it's kind of a suburban road. A neighborhood road. And the school bus is coming to a stop at the stoplight, despite the fact that the light is green for both the school bus and me. We're going opposite directions. And the school bus is coming to a stop because obviously it's going to let a kid out at this stoplight, who will then walk into the neighborhood somewhere further along. And so I excitedly, pull to a stop at the stoplight so that the kid can get out and I can finally have my moment of being the one to stop for the school bus. And I'm even a little thinking, man, this is an awkward situation because we're at the stoplight too. So if I'm stopped here, for the school bus just a little bit longer than otherwise necessary, the light might change to red and I'll have to wait a whole stoplight cycle. Think of the inconvenience. A minute of my day wasted. I know, terrible. But I don't care because it's a minute of my day wasted. Who cares? But what happens instead is I pull up to stop, at the stoplight, the green stoplight, because the school bus is opening the doors and the stop sign pops out. But then the school bus driver closes the door, pulls the stop sign back in, and then waves at me to go through first. And no, I'm sorry. That's not your job. That's not your your job number one is to like mess with the kids. You can't like the whole point of the stop sign on the door, or that pops out when the door closes, is that there is no ambiguity. When the school bus stops and opens the door, everyone must stop. It's not a gray area. It is cut and dry. School bus doors open, everyone stops. And then this one bus driver is like, yeah, but actually, think of the 3 seconds of inconvenience that guy might be experiencing. I should let him go first and unilaterally introduce confusion into this situation where there are children's lives on the line. Like, obviously, the children's life is not on the line right now because he didn't let the kid out. And like, it's a stupid thing to get worked up about. But it's just another part of the epidemic of I live in the South, and people are too nice when they drive. You're at the stop sign for 30 seconds because someone despite clearly getting there first, decided to wave you along first. And it's like, well, no, you got here first. So we're both wasting time trying to figure out who goes first instead of just going. You didn't save me time. You didn't save you time. Nothing here was gained. Everything was lost. This is a net negative for society. You have to be predictable, not nice. And like, sometimes I feel like an idiot for even complaining about these things. Cause like, you know, that person was trying to be nice. They were saying, oh, I'm not in a hurry. You can go first. Da 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 da. And sometimes I want to sometimes I want to yell at them. But sometimes it's like, you just need to chill and admit and take it as it is. They were trying to do a nice thing for you. So just take the compliment. Even it's not actually a compliment, but like, you know what I mean. And I don't know how I feel about this situation where basically I just finally had the situation with the school bus that I was thinking in my head for like the 3 years that I've been working at this place. And it probably has already happened before too. It might have happened already and I just don't remember. But like, I just think it's funny and annoying that like I wanted to have a situation where I stopped for the school bus and then the school bus did stop, and so I got to be the one to stop. And it was the intersection of that and people being too nice in cars. And it's funny. I hate it. And so that's just basically just an idea about my recent life that I just kind of wanted to spew out there while I did a little bit of Minecraft progress. I don't want every video to be a 1 hour of, random JFS events. So we're just going to have a little short video where I ramble about, whatever is going on. Right now, you can see I'm terraforming the spawn island. It was a big sandy desert and a mess. The downside about having the spawn where it is that it's kind of ugly and boring. Like, if you have spawn in a field, the field looks better than the desert when it's empty. And it's pretty empty. We're not as tightly packed as we were in previous seasons, which I'm not a fan of. I liked last season's spawn because everyone was so tightly packed. Everything just kind of filled out naturally. And that's because of the geography with the bowl, geographic determinism, I know. But like, because we have a flat, wide desert, everyone's spread out more. And so I feel I need to take it upon myself more this season to make spawn look nice. I'm definitely this season trying to do more server stuff. Like last season, I have already made more videos this season than I have for the entirety of season 5, and it's not even been 6 months, because the whole point about being on a server is that you're on a server, your friends are here, and so I can't just do nothing the entire time. I have to make this apart. I don't have to make content, but I need to be interacting. So we need to do these things as a community, and some people people like to show up to the spawn area and be like, oh, that's different, what happened here? Like, I was in Discord a couple times, I was in Discord or voice chat, not voice chat, the freaking the location relative chat a couple times where people, first saw the spawn island, like, ooh, what's going on over here? And I was like, oh, I just thought I'd spruce up the spawn island. And it's like, ooh, okay, interesting. This feels like a max kind of terrain or something like that. I don't even really remember what people were saying, but it just felt good to do a thing. And people go, ooh, what's going on over here? You know? Like, I've even got a couple ideas for more things to fill out spawn. Right now, we've got a big empty ocean. Well, in the video, currently, there's a big empty ocean. There won't be for long. We'll get to that toward the end of the video. Because this was recorded. This segment was recorded just before the mayor stuff finished. You could see, you'll be able to see in a minute that one of my billboards is still up. And that's already obviously happened. This is basically just a few things that have already gone on for a while. But yeah, all that to say is just, I don't know. I feel like making a video where I can just kind of ramble about whatever every now and again. Because the thing, that kind of used to be my bread and butter when we were doing videos a lot, is I would just ramble. And the problem I had with those is that I felt like I never did anything in the video because I was like, I was rambling too much to focus on what I was doing. And so I think this might be a better way of doing it, is focusing on a thing and then rambling to myself, while I watch back the footage later. So this might be a new format. This might be a new standard. I don't know. We'll find out. I guess in the meanwhile, or as part of this, I can give a little bit of a life update. So I don't remember exactly what I mentioned in. Oh, no, I do. I did mention in the first Not Losers meeting that I'm getting married. My fiance and I are getting married in the fall, which is very exciting. So we're picking out a venue, got a wedding planner. We're trying to think about colors and such like that, and we need to get a DJ or a band or whatever we're doing. And we have to think about the logistics of what happens when we move in, because we both have two separate pieces of sets of furniture. And I own my house, but her house is like in the city, and we like that, but we can't just get a house in the city, Plus, she doesn't even have a job yet, but she will by the time we get married. So the last thing you're watching here is this bridge that I built. I committed to finishing the ring road this episode, which we will do. When the video's over, we will give a loop around the ring road. So I committed to finally finishing this bridge, because what happened is I was really finally going to get the energy to do the bridge between Lemon's base and like over the gorge behind Muckluck's castle. We'll show that in a minute too. But just as I was finally getting the energy to do it, Lemon's actually just started building bridges over there. And I was like, oh crap, I'm taking too long. People are doing my job for me. Which, like, it's Lemon's area, so like, he can do whatever he wants. But I was like, I need to step up. I was the one who said I wanted to do this. But I kind of made it as part of my mayoral thing. And it was like, well, I actually have to do the thing. I'm not just going to wait to be mayor to actually do the things I want to do. But like I couldn't just finish the things early. Otherwise, my main campaign promise would be done already. And so, but it doesn't matter anymore because the mayoral stuff is over anyway. One of the awkward situations regarding my situation with Blair and I is that we're not really going to get to have a proper honeymoon due to the way being a med student works. So we're probably going to end up having two vacations and calling it a honeymoon instead. Like one smaller honeymoon after the wedding, but also one bigger trip before the wedding, because when we actually have the time. So we already planned our trip that we're going to take in later this year before the wedding to Europe. We're going to Barcelona. And so, we're kind of excited about that. But that's pretty much already been planned out. We're kind of just, waiting for it to happen. But yeah, other than that, I guess that's all I feel like rambling. I think I'm done rambling, which means I'm just going to let the rest of this clip play out, and then we will cut to the outro bit where I do a little bit of less improvised talking and like actually do. I'm actually playing the game while I talk. You know, that we're gonna cut to that part. One last thing to go over before we end off this episode. We've mostly been working on beautification of things around spawn. A lot of little things have been going on. We've got the new town hall being constructed out there in the water. We've got a new guild project that Nixer and presumably others are working on. We got our first little quest here. Got some plans. Very excited to see where that goes. But mostly we've been working on, little beautification things today. And there is one more beautification thing left to address. If we follow all these markers, you'll start seeing slabs indicating a path and a nice new big bridge. Look at that. So I had originally planned on building a bridge right here, from right over here to right over there. I had even built the path down to this point and I marked out cobble out to here. But this is right in view of Lemons' area, and I kind of took a while to do my part of the bridge. So Lemons just built this big ass bridge, and yeah, that's better than anything I would have done. So yeah, one less thing left to do. I will have to figure out what to do about this path that now is redundant. I do have an idea already, though. I kind of like the way it looks, just like this path that goes down this, following the cliff with moss along the edges here. I'm thinking about having it just continue down into the skeleton spider double spawner. We can finally have official access to that. And it gives this road that I've already worked on a bit of purpose. But you may have noticed this little bit right here. You see, there's clearly going to be a path here, and there's clearly going to be a path here, but this non-existent path, which will go to Lemon's base, and the bridge aren't yet connected yet. This path here, going all the way up toward Rad and Scott's base, and then doubling back to the other side of my base. And, well, there's a reason for that. You see, this right here is the last bit of road left to build. It's been a while. It was back in November that I had proposed we build a ring road around the Nexus. And I've been hard at work on that for a while, bit by bit, chipping away at it. Finally built the bridge over there today. This bridge was going to be next, but look, it's already done. The only thing left is to connect the path up to the bridge. I don't know how Lemons wants this path done, but we can make adjustments later on, because right now I'm kind of excited because this is the official completing. We are officially completing the first ring road. And I say first because I have plans to do more. Now that the border has been expanded, there's not really any reason for us to stop. It's not like there's a border in our way. No. We are more than willing to build another big road even further out. And with Cosmic building bed and breakfasts, and my plan to build Pony Express style way stations, stables, there'll be plenty of stuff to do out there. And so, hold on, this is a little flat. I'm not going to place the last block until I've made it look a bit better. This might go. I will leave the specifics of this area to Lemons, because this is kind of in his backyard, and he did build this bridge. But nonetheless, as of now, the first JFS Season 6 ring road is complete. Starting from the spawn island, let's just take one quick lap around the whole ring road. We've got this moss bridge right here. We've got the sand path here that goes right up past Killer's Work in Progress, Specials base, our temp home. These special trees, I did build another one. I don't think I showed this one off on camera yet. And I built this path right between them, up the hill here, and along the edge of the cliff to get up into the jungle. And once you're up here, Brad and Scott's base on our right, Lemon's base on our right as well, down there. We haven't finished exactly prettying up this cliffside here, but all of that will be done later on. Across the Harold Bridge, rest in peace, Harold. I don't know who Harold is. Harold McMillan? I think it's a politician. Let's not name it after a politician. Even if I don't know who Harold McMillan is, he could be really cool. I do not know. But yeah, we got this bridge across the wide empty savanna. There's a camel over there. And here we've got a few split paths. We've got this path that goes down this hill to connect up to one of the original spurs. And also it loops back around up to here. Meanwhile, if you were to take the split path this way, you'll connect to this little cave route here, which will take you to the other side of this path. Will take you down to the other side of the original spoke road to Dakota's place and the Barrens. This path over here was built by Zulu, or perhaps Zulu, to connect Goose up to the road down there without getting in the way of Hills and Union's base. But yeah, let's go ahead and keep. We're almost done. We got that nice little base right up there. I can't remember whose that is. But we're going to continue along this road, right down past, right behind Town Hall. Not sure if this part of the path will stay like this. We are, the Town Hall is pretty new, so we'll have to talk to Muck, see if he wants any changes, but we are open to it. All the way across over here to our new bridge, which I am pretty happy about. I need to get some lanterns to go under the bridge. Under the bridge sometimes. Dakota says, 9 out of 10 bridge, great location, nice design. I fell off it though, so I did finish the bridge. That was a couple days ago. This path will eventually go out to where the Not Losers headquarters is, but if you go this way, up the hill, through the desert, you link up to Dennis's road, and you follow it back all the way to the spawn platform, which we haven't built a spawn platform yet. The spawn island. And there you are. The first ring road is complete. Feels good. Well, thank you all for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.